For the most part, I'd say that they couldn't have gone or have been going any better than they have. We're establishing a culture of working hard towards accomplishing their goals. The team has really come together, and I'm extremely pleased with what they've been able to do on a daily basis.
How long does it take you to get to know a kid well enough to coach them? I mean, you're a first year here at Jewell. You've got a lot of first year kids here. What's that building relationship thing been like?
I'd say that probably happens within the first couple of weeks. They're coming into a program. I'm going to be working with them for the first time. It's just kind of watching them in the water, them experiencing me on the pool deck. We're going to have to work together. I like to have individual meetings with each swimmer to kind of gauge what they want to accomplish, and at the same time, I might see an event or two that they might not have swam before that I think that they might have a great deal of success in while they're in college.
Mark, you had such success before you came here. Talk a little bit about what it was like, your background, and then what made you choose to come to Jewell.
Well, I guess got to start coaching college coaching at Wayne State University in Detroit, Michigan. I was able to coach with a very good friend of mine. In fact, he's the best man at my wedding, and that's Sean Peters at Wayne State University. I think we only had about one national qualifier before I started coaching there, and then within 5 years we had already won the conference a couple times on the men's side, gotten close to winning on the women's side, and we sent about 10 athletes to the Division II National Championship by the end of that 5th year. And then out of nowhere I got a phone call from Sean himself, and he told me that the AD at Truman State University wanted to talk to me about being the head coach there. At first I thought Sean asked me if I wanted to be the assistant there, and I was like, Sean, I'm not leaving you to be the assistant. And he said, he's like, Mark, it's not a call for the assistant job, it's a call for the head coaching position. And I was actually really surprised because I didn't think I had the resume to take on a team that had won 5 consecutive Division II national championships. And then with that, to win it in my first year, I couldn't have been happier with how that went. And then we were able to win another title a couple years later.
Yeah, what's been more of a challenge, starting a new program or going into a program that has those high expectations?
I'd say I don't want to say they're the same, but they're both challenging in their own different ways. Obviously, taking over a team that had already won national championships, you had a lot of swimmers that were extremely talented, were used to doing things the way that it was done before. And I pretty much shook up the hornet's nest there, and in my opinion, I made them work harder than they ever had before. And a lot of that showed in how fast they swam that year, because everybody in the world said that they were not going to win in '06. Everybody did, and in fact, even the team did within the first week, because they graduated like 4 school record holders, this and that. And after I watched how much talent was in the water for about a couple of days, I sat down with them and I said, I'm sick and tired of hearing about, we're not going to win and who we lost. And from this moment forward, I want to hear about nothing but how fast we're going to swim and how we're going to win another national championship. So it's a lot different here at Jewell. Obviously, starting from scratch, we're going to have our ups and downs. And we started the year with a couple more swimmers than we currently have. But the 11 that we have are extremely strong, and they've been working very hard. And I think that they're going to be the nucleus for what is to come in the upcoming years.
What sold you on coming to Jewell?
Well, I had a big personal reason for the move. My girlfriend of a couple of years had lived here, or in Lee Summit, and she'd been kind of putting the bug in my ear that I need to come to Kansas City, but I kept telling her that I'm a college swimming coach, and I love what I do, and I absolutely love my job. So there was nothing here, and then out of nowhere, William Jewell College had swimming. So I just kind of placed an investigating phone call and found out where they were at with everything. It was communicated very early that if I was going to take the position, I was going to have to do it at halfway, which was, in my opinion, probably the most difficult decision I ever had to make in my career. But it's one that, with the guidance of my parents, I talked to them a lot, and it really came down to what my future was going to be for my life and for my family. And a lot of times people don't think that coaches get faced with those decisions, but in the end, it's really all about your family. It's about starting a family, and that's where I'm at right now. So, but at the same time, the opportunity to start a team from scratch, I can't ask for a better situation. Because wherever you go, you're used to this is the way it's been done. This is what the previous coach had. Sometimes it's a coach every year, and it's really tough to kind of get some consistency with things. And I'm excited that I get to put my stamp on this program from day one. And I'm already really excited how many alumni have reached out and in support of this team and what's going on. And I'm just really excited about what this team is going to do in the future.
Conversely, when you approach a kid as a recruit, what do you sell them on about Jewell?
Well, it's a great school. There's no doubt about that. Its academic reputation is really unrivaled in the area. So, number one, they're going to get a phenomenal education. In my opinion, the school size, it's not a deterrent. It's a positive because each professor on this campus, from what I'm learning, they take a vested interest in all of their students' academic well-being, and they want to see them be successful at Jewell, and they want to see them be successful when they graduate. And that's how I approach it as a coach. I want to see these swimmers grow into contributing members of society, and I want them to be successful in whatever they do after they graduate from their careers to their family and just overall in life. And it's nice that they have the professors that have that same vested interest. And I think that they're going to be more prepared to enter the real world than anybody else.
Give me your recruit speech. If someone asks you what your coaching philosophy is, what does it kind of boil down to?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I don't know if I can talk for less than 45 minutes on that, but I pretty much tell them that they're going to work extremely hard towards achieving their goals. To sum up my coaching philosophy in a few sentences, it would definitely be that we will train the way we race, and then we will race the way we train. There's going to be no discrepancy between the two. I preach proper race strategies, and we practice doing them on a daily basis. And then ultimately our foundation comes from being as aerobically fit as they possibly can be. Because the more aerobically fit you are, the faster you can take your races out without it hurting you. Number two is probably the most important. That's you can train your goal time paces more consistently. And it's the consistency of training goal time paces that actually allows you to go that time. And then ultimately in a college format, a lot of kids are used to it with club, but our championship meets are 3.5 or 4 days long, and we need to be able to have an all-out effort from day one prelims all the way through day 4 finals. And the only way you're going to be able to be successful in a meet of that length is if you train hard, and we do train very hard. The only other thing I can say is that we do kick a lot. We kick a ton because the legs are the fuel to your races. When they go, everything tends to go. So we make sure that we kick as much as we possibly can to make sure that our athletes are going to be able to hold on in their races.
You change your job, you change your city, and you get married all within a span of a few months. How is that all working out for you?
It's going very well. I couldn't be happier with where I'm at in my life right now. Career-wise, family-wise, you name it.
And what do you see in the future of Jewell swimming?
Well, it's going to take some time, but hopefully next year, the first year that we can actually send some people to nationals, I would like to get a few people there, whether it's a couple guys, a couple girls, or one of each, or you name it. We're going to be working as hard as we can to put this program on the map on a national level as soon as possible.